So I'm going to tell you about Beth Sholom Synagogue, the only synagogue designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. We're in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. Beth Sholom congregation was founded in Philadelphia in 1919 and moved to the Philadelphia suburbs in the early 1950s. In 1953, we began the process to build a synagogue building. On November 16th, 1953, Rabbi Mortimer J. Cohen writes a 3-page letter to Frank Lloyd Wright introducing himself and asking for a building. He is very specific in what he wants. He wants a new thing, a synagogue of simple modern design, the American spirit wedded to the ancient spirit of Israel. On the 3rd page, Cohen gives Wright additional details, including that he wants both a synagogue and a smaller chapel and air conditioning. He wants the roof of colored glass within a rotunda to give light and sense of space. He wants the walls acoustically treated, plain and sheer. He wants the interior promenade walls of glass, and this is what he envisions the inside to look like. Wright's response, dated 12 days later, invites Rabbi Cohen to meet him at the Plaza Hotel in New York City the following week. This initial meeting begins the relationship that builds Beth Sholom. When Cohen received the first set of plans from Wright in March 1954, Cohen was given co-designer status. The photo on the left was taken in Taliesin West. It shows Rabbi Cohen with the then 87-year-old Frank Lloyd Wright working together on the footprint of the building. The photo on the right is from Google Earth, and yes, that is a fountain in front of the building. The fountain runs east-west, and the building is oriented to have the setting sun stream into the front of the building. It is often asked, why would Frank Lloyd Wright, a Unitarian, design a synagogue? One of the theories is that Wright was using this opportunity to build his steel cathedral that was originally designed for Manhattan in 1926, but was never built. Wright designed over 1,000 projects in his lifetime, but only about half came to fruition. 1 year after the first letter between Rabbi Cohen and Frank Lloyd Wright, Wright traveled to Elkins Park for the groundbreaking of the new Beth Sholom Synagogue building. In the photo, you see Wright in the center with the shovel and Rabbi Cohen on the far left. However, at this point, the congregation was unable to find a contractor willing to take on this project. Finally, a contractor was found and construction began. The base of the building is poured in place reinforced concrete. The left photo shows the main sanctuary floor. The roof is steel and is supported by a tripod of girders. The steel was then clad in painted aluminum. The right photo shows the center support being lifted into place. The roof is comprised of 2 layers. The outer layer is corrugated glass panels, reinforced with chicken wire and sandblasted to diffuse the light. The inner panels are structoglass, a type of fiberglass. There is a 5-inch air gap between the layers. The structure is held up very well, and almost every panel is original. The contractor was Haskell Caldwell. Caldwell had worked with Wright in the past, and at that time was finishing the construction of Wright's Price Tower in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. When the Price Tower was finished, he came to Elkins Park to begin building Beth Sholom. In January of 1959, Wright made his final visit to Beth Sholom. The building was not complete, but the roof was. The interior fixtures were being installed. In the photo, you see a wood cabinet behind Rabbi Cohen. On September 20th, 1959, less than 6 years after Rabbi Cohen's first letter to Wright, the Beth Sholom Synagogue was dedicated and the congregation officially moved to Elkins Park. Many of the design elements of Beth Sholom are classic Wright, including his use of compression release. When one enters through the main entrance of the vestibule, ceiling is low and is cut in such a way as to give you a glimpse of something special. This draws you forward into a foyer of natural light, and the roof is revealed. Beth Sholom's interior seats over 1,000 guests in a room lit by natural light with a ceiling 110 feet, 33 meters from the floor. The floor is sloped, giving each person an unobstructed view of the pulpit. The seats were not designed by Wright. He chose them for this space. And yes, they are comfortable. Wright designed all the furniture on the pulpit. The wooden cabinet you see in this photo is the one Rabbi Cohen and Wright were standing in front of in the photo from Wright's final visit. The metal artwork above the cabinet is always lit and can be seen from the street in front of the building when one drives by. One feature is the stunning chandelier. In these photos, you see the chandelier during construction being lifted into place. The colored panels are a plexiglass-type material manufactured by the Roman Haas Company. The metal frame is covered by a geometric pattern found throughout the building. The chandelier, designed in January 1957, serves multiple purposes. It is beautiful and provides light, but with its height creates an artificial ceiling, which gives the room a sense of intimacy, which is not typically found in such a large space. In the fall of 2019, Beth Sholom became an art venue for the first time. It was a multimedia installation by the artist David Hart. In the main sanctuary, Hart used both recorded music and orchids. The orchids were used not only for beauty, but were strategically placed throughout the space to catch the leaks and were moved as needed. This photo was taken from the lowest point in the main sanctuary, down a small set of stairs next to the pulpit. The building is symmetrical, and originally there were stairs on either side of the pulpit. We removed the other set in 2014 to install an elevator. This allows those with mobility issues to enter both the main sanctuary and the smaller chapel. Directly below the main sanctuary is the smaller chapel that holds over 200 people. Again, the floor is sloped, giving everyone an unobstructed view. Wright designed the pulpit furniture in here as well. As you can see in the photo, Wright shows his mastery of light as it streams into the room at sunset. Our final photo is of the building at night. Look closely through the windows above the door. You can see the metal artwork that is above the pulpit. Thank you, Marta, for inviting us to show off what we believe to be one of Wright's most spectacular buildings. It was a pleasure to be here, and I hope all of you will have a chance to come and see and visit this most amazing space. Thank you.